Hello friend, it is so wonderful to see your face again today. Today, we're going to talk about the French press because I put a video up the other day as a joke, and apparently a lot of you don't know how to make a French press and reached out asking how you make it. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Hello, 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 happy Monday. It is so wonderful to see your smiling face. Today, I am drinking a nice geisha from Portola and it is so good, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about the French press. And real quick, before we get into that, I just wanted to say thank you to the 2 people that have already subscribed to my Patreon. I really set this up in a way so that hopefully each and every tier, no matter which one you sign up for, is useful and gives you some great tips, some great things. Everything from a monthly Q&A with me on Zoom to private meetings to free coffee to everything your heart could desire. So if you have a second, check it out. Link will be below. And yeah, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. But today we're going to talk about the French press because I posted this story.
Can you describe how you used to make a French press, please?
I used to never make coffee in here because it would always not turn out because I'd throw the water in and immediately start pushing it down slowly. And I thought the process of slowly pushing it down did something. So I was just drinking water with coffee grounds, basically.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, I got some messages that people didn't know the correct way to make a French press. So that's what we're gonna do today. And now I'm realizing I already drank like a coffee today, so we're gonna have a lot of coffee today, I guess. But we're gonna quick switch locations so we can talk about the French press. So let's go. All right, cool. Now that we're in a better spot, a couple things you're gonna need. 1 is a French press. Doesn't really matter what size, whatever, depends on what you're making. 2 is your coffee. I'm currently using a blend that I made the other day and will be one of the ones I will be releasing, which is super exciting. And then a scale, you could do without this, and a grinder if you're not using pre-ground coffee. So what you need to know is, like we discussed before, every brew method kind of has some different nuances to it. So like the Chemex, which we've talked about before, you're gonna need slightly finer grinds than you would for, a cold brew or a French press. A French press is gonna use slightly coarser than you would regularly use for a pour over or a drip coffee, but not quite as coarse as a cold brew. So easiest way, honestly, is just to go into your local shop, buy some coffee, have them grind it for you for French press, and go from there. Otherwise, you can experiment a little. So I'm gonna weigh out some of my coffee. I'm gonna make half a pot of French press, which is about 400 grams of water or so. So 1 cup of coffee, basically. And for that, I'm gonna use 25 grams of coffee. Now, if you don't have a scale or you don't want to use a scale, use about a tablespoon or 2, probably 2 tablespoons, and that should give you about the same ratio. Oh, this is full. Now just give me a second while I... Cool, now that your coffee's ground, you can add it to the French press. For the next part, if you'd like to weigh the hot water, you can do that, or you can just kind of eyeball it to the halfway point, up to you. Hot water? Cool. I have hot water just off the boil. If you don't have anything that'll kind of measure the temperature, let it get to boiling, give it like 30 seconds to a minute, and you're good to go. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna weigh it out, and you're just gonna kind of soak all the beans, make sure all of them are nice and wet. Spilled a little, whoops, oh, spilled a little more. It happens, it happens. Gonna get it up to 400. And because this is a slow pour, I'm not really gonna stir it afterward, but if I was just kind of pouring it in really quick, I'd give it a nice little stir before I put the plunger on top. There it is, 400. Now, plunger on, but you're only gonna place it right above the grounds. And then you're gonna let it brew for about 3 to 4 minutes. So we'll set a timer. There we go. And we'll just wait. Or 45 minutes, sorry. But yeah, apparently some of you have been doing this where you'll press it down first and then you'll let it brew. No, 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 no. Basically, if you press it down too early, you're gonna push all the coffee down to the bottom and it won't be able to extract all those delicious juicy flavors from the coffee. So what you want to do, just let it kind of above it, and then when you're done, you'll press it down, get all those coffee grounds out of the way, pour yourself a nice mug of coffee, and it'll be tasty. So yeah, be back in a second when it's done. All right, so it's almost done. Grab myself a glass just so you can kind of see the color of it and everything. And real quick, before we finish, just wanted to say, just a reminder, the things that go into a cup of coffee are grind size, important, which you can adjust, the water temperature, and how much coffee you use and how long you brew it. So those are kind of the variables that you can control. Again, if you're getting your coffee ground in a shop, then you're kind of stuck with that variable, but you can experiment with how much coffee you actually put in it. So once you're done, if you're like, seems a little weak, seems a little under extracted, then add a little more coffee next time. If you're like, whoa, it really punches you, then maybe add a little less coffee. But we are right about there. So just gonna enjoy this. Ready for this? Just a nice little plunge. Oh, get all the way down to the bottom. We're left with some nice coffee, and we'll give it a nice little pour. So focus on it. Very lovely. Cheers. Let's see how it tastes. I've never tried this French press before. That's pretty nice. It's a little under extracted this first time brewing this coffee, so next time I would probably grind it just a little bit coarser, honestly. Now, the thing to remember with a French press is because it's a metal filter, just like any metal filter, you're not gonna get every little piece of sediment out of the cup. So you can kind of even see, if you look closely at this cup, that there is little teeny tiny pieces of coffee in there. Now, it's not anything that you're gonna really notice, and especially if you let it sit, you won't really notice it. But when you get to the very end of the cup, you might get a little grit in your mouth. And that's just any kind of metal filter you use, that will always happen because that is just the nature of a metal filter. It's not gonna extract all the sediment like a paper filter would, but still makes a very nice, good cup of coffee. And what this is great for is if you are brewing for a lot of people, don't have a lot of time, you can quick just set it up, give it a little stir, let it brew while you do some other things, and boom, your cup of coffee is done. Honestly, this is pretty nice. But yeah, guys, this is the French press. And if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know, because honestly, it shows me what you guys want to see when you have questions, when you have concerns, anything like that, and then I can use that to make some videos to hopefully help you all out. So I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, little comment, subscribe if you aren't already, and if you have a few extra bucks that you're willing to throw my way, subscribe to the Patreon. But I'm gonna enjoy this coffee, take a little break because it's been a long week, but yeah, thank you all, and I will see you all next Monday. Bye, love you all.